she really tries to convince the public that she loves children and loves working with children, and yet says stuff like that? Welcome back to my series, Dance Moms Unedited. This is the series where we discuss the production notes written by actual producers of Dance Moms in Season 1, and we discover a lot of the behind-the-scenes happenings. It also includes things that even the cast might have forgotten. So you might be wondering, hey, wasn't the last episode Season 1 Episode 4? Why are we jumping to Season 1 Episode 7? And there is a reason for that. The production notes came in two binders, one which was April 2011, and one that was June and July 2011. Unfortunately, the binder for May 2011 is lost to time. We have no idea where it is, or if it really exists. It wasn't in the eBay listing that all the other production notes that we have access to are contained in. So for the time being, I guess we just have to move on, because there was more to this episode than the producers cared to show. So let's jump right into it. The week begins at the studio with the cast arriving. Melissa tells Mackenzie that she won't let her dance today because she is sick. While Kelly works on Paige's hair, Paige asks if she can keep it in a ponytail. Kelly says no, using the R word to describe how it looks. 2011 was a very different time. People weren't very aware of these kinds of social issues, ableism. It's still not okay to use a medical condition as an insult. I guess we always need to be aware of how our words affect other people, and I'm certainly glad that this wasn't included in the show and immortalised forever. Abby walks into the studio, saying that the girls can't dance in the messy state that her studio is currently in. She tells Brooke that she has to make sure she removes her toenail polish that night. Then the girls work on the group dance, Make You Mine. She tells one of the girls to stop asking stupid questions, and proceeds to ask Nia if she saw last night's episode of So You Think You Can Dance. She says that she needs Nia to be like that, and that she doesn't care that she was eating dinner with her dad at the time that the show was on. I can't believe how many racial digs that Abby throws towards Nia this early in Season 1. I mean, this is when fans consider Abby to be at her nicest, and she's already making all these comments. And unfortunately, these kind of comments are rampant throughout this episode. Abby proceeds to scream at Nia. She yells again about her having dinner with her dad. She can't believe that she had to tell Nia about a correction 4 times. Abby doesn't seem to realise how frustrating and demoralising it is to have a teacher like her. The kind of teacher who yells at you to fix something, to do something, to remember something, and when you're just physically incapable of doing that as a student, it just completely shatters your confidence. Christy makes a joke about taking drugs on the aeroplane before the trip. Abby makes Nia watch the other girls go through the group dance without her. She tells the girls to fix the chairs with a black Sharpie if it doesn't look good. Then Abby says that she isn't even making them rent the chairs, and that she's letting the girls use them. Does this mean Abby used to make her students rent props from her? While the kids work on their solos, Melissa tells one of her daughters to get some money out of Abby's purse, because apparently Abby does it to her all the time. She talks to the mums about a kid at the studio who was mean to Mackenzie. Christy mentions that a kid at the studio was saying inappropriate sexual things to Chloe. The mums can't believe that Nia was given a Bollywood solo, but Christy also says that she kind of likes it. Melissa agrees, saying that none of the other kids could get away with it. Christy shows Paige a bruise that Chloe had recently gotten. Kelly calls Chloe an idiot for hurting herself on the trampoline, saying it wasn't very smart. Given Christy's lack of reaction, I'm hoping that this is just good-natured teasing that doesn't translate well into the notes. A male teacher, who is referred to in the notes as Joe, works on the group dance. He tells Brooke that before she does a move across the floor, he wants to see her smile. He also tells her that she looks boring. Then the cast films a couple of extra clips for the show. Abby says her iconic line, "Next on Dance Mums." The girls sit upstairs and pretend to be watching their mothers practicing the mums dance from Season 1 Episode 5. They say lines like, "My mum used to be a dancer. I wish my mum was as good as me. Why is she humiliating herself like that? And I don't think this is good for my mum's self-esteem." Chloe says that her mum could have done better if she had more time to practice. and Maddie says that her mum is the favourite, before deciding that Kelly is actually the favourite. Paige says that her mum needs more practice and should stick to shopping. Then the kids try on their costumes for this week. Holly arrives at the studio for the first time that day, and Abby tells her that Nia needs an afro. Christy and Kelly have explained that Nia's first ever solo was like her portraying an island girl and she had a bone in her hair. And so Holly wasn't just upset over the afro this week, she was upset over a pattern of behaviour of Abby stereotyping Nia. When Abby looks at Paige's costume, Melissa says to Abby, "Isn't that a perfect fit?" And Abby replies that she has a perfect body. She then tells everyone to bring their luggage into Studio A. The girls stand in a row, holding up clothes for Abby's approval. They are told that they need black and white outfits, cocktail dresses, red and black travelling outfits, and vintage floral dresses. Abby warns Maddie that if she catches her in the hotel without shoes on, she will have to do 50 push-ups. The following day, everyone gets on the bus, including Kathy and Vivi. The show tries to make it look like Kathy drove herself again this week, but you can clearly see her hair in several shots of this scene. Abby sees someone that she knows outside the window and makes fun of them. She tells everyone that she has a great story about Connecticut and asks if anyone wants to hear it. The girls say no, but she tells her story anyway. She says that their bus trip was supposed to be 10 hours, but it seems like it will take 14. Abby begs the kids to let her sleep. Kelly reveals that she has a bottle of wine stashed in her purse. Then Paige pulls her gummy worm prank on Abby, waking her up. Meanwhile, Nia feels sick and Holly takes care of her. Melissa explains the competition schedule, revealing that the competition took place over 4 days. Christy and Kelly have spoken about this competition and how they had to wear the same clothes day after day after day to maintain continuity in filming. And man, it must have felt so gross by the end of that. Abby tells the girls that they need to be over the top for the group number, like they're 25 years old. She then tells Vivi to sit in the back with the bad girls and asks the kids to join her in an Indian chant. As Abby points out a Chili's restaurant, Kathy declares that Chili's is for poor people. When they enter the hotel, one of the mums say that it smells like weed in there. Another replies saying that they might need some. The following morning, the mums and the girls enter the green room. The competition was running ahead of schedule by half an hour, and Melissa is mad because they are so late. Abby thinks that the competition moved them to an earlier time on purpose. The notes say that Holly did her own makeup, and apparently someone thought it looked horrible. Abby works with Melissa on Maddie's makeup. Then Melissa begins to yell at Maddie about her attitude. She calls her daughter stupid, saying that she has one number to dance and that she will be so mad if Maddie cries. She then asks her if she wants to go home. That's a horrible way to speak to a child. Christy and Kelly have theorised in their podcast that Melissa probably was telling everyone that Maddie needed to go to the bathroom because she wanted to get Maddie off camera during her meltdown so that she doesn't look unprofessional on TV. She declares that she wants to come to the competition by herself tomorrow. Abby tells Nia to do her leg thing, saying that she is looking at her as though she is on crack. After the group dance, Maddie begins to cry, and the other girls are upset too. The kids try to calm Maddie down. Abby asks her in the dressing room why she was crying, and Maddie says that it wasn't their best time. Abby then talks to Paige and Kelly alone, telling Kelly that she would have beat her child if they acted like Paige did when she got her costume. She really tries to convince the public that she loves children and loves working with children, and yet says stuff like that. Kelly explains that Paige wasn't upset because she didn't like the costume. She was upset because it didn't fit. Then Christy and Chloe go to visit Christy's old home. Note that this scene was filmed in this episode and not in episode 6. Christy encourages Chloe to dance in the yard, but Chloe only wants to if Christy does too, so they dance together. They knock on the door and ask the neighbours if anyone lives there, and they are told no. Then the group awards are announced. The girls win second place for Make You Mine. Before Brooke's solo, it had been revealed that Brooke's music hadn't made it to the technical crew, so Gianna has to run to get it. Brooke then performs her solo, apparently slipping on stage and missing a handstand. She says that she got nervous from watching a boy who was performing before her. Abby introduces Brandon to the team in the green room. He was the boy who performed before Brooke. Abby asks if he thinks he could lift Brooke, and he gives it a go. Everyone says that they want him to come to their school. Maddie and Chloe begin filming Brandon and Brooke together. Abby teases Brooke, telling her that this is what she gets for watching the performance in front of her. She says that she'll end up dating the whole convention. At awards, Brooke wins a tiebreaker to get third place in her division. The following day, Maddie rehearses alone in the green room. She and Melissa finish getting her ready for her solo, and they talk about the dance. Melissa tells Maddie that she is her best friend, telling her to be nice because she could lose her like she lost her own mother. She says that Maddie will be sad when she's gone. Is it just me, or does this seem incredibly manipulative? Abby enters and tells Maddie to make a name for herself, as well as to have fun. Paige comes backstage to sit with Maddie. After she performs, the rest of the girls and mums congratulate Maddie. Maddie and Melissa begin to cry, and Abby explains that Maddie is crying because she is an artist, and because all her emotion needs somewhere to go. At the awards ceremony, Maddie wins first place. She is in the running for a title but has to perform her routine later in the day. As everyone congratulates Maddie, Melissa yells at Mackenzie, saying that this is about Maddie right now. Maddie and Melissa film a close-up of putting the angel pin on Maddie. Maddie recompetes her solo, and backstage she talks to another girl about Abby, saying that her dance teacher is fat. Maddie wins first place, getting flowers and a trophy. Abby is invited to the stage, where she hugs Maddie. Then Vivi and Kathy do the photo shoot for the Miss Photogenic competition. Mackenzie and Vivi then get ready for and perform their duet, which wins first place. The next day, Nia gets ready for her solo. Christy tells her that she is cute and looks like Black Annie. Holly compares it to electricity, wondering if the judges will find it too stereotypical. Christy becomes upset about the schedule because Chloe is not stretched or warmed up yet. Kelly gets very, let's say, excited when Paige changes into her costume. I don't even want to try repeating that. It's a 10-year-old we're talking about. When Paige is warming up, Kelly tells her that Nia is the jungle person, not her. Kathy talks about the way that Abby pushes Nia into jungle-themed dances. She tells Nia that she looks fabulous and that she is the nicest kid. She declares that she never made her black students do these kind of dances. After Nia performs her solo, Melissa gets upset with Mackenzie in the green room, telling her to apologise to Brooke and Maddie because she was being a brat. Then Holly confronts Abby about Nia's dance. She didn't like the stereotyping. Abby explains that Nia is African American, saying that she loves music by African American singers, but that she can't use that music for little white kids. Holly asks if Nia can't just be a cute kid. Abby tells her to go somewhere else, saying that no one pays her $30,000 a year to teach her kids, like they do at Holly's school. Holly asks if Abby wants her to pay more to get more attention. Abby says that she never said that, telling Holly that not all children are equal. Back in the theatre, Abby is in pain, saying that she needs to go to the doctor. Chloe and Paige perform their solos, and Abby tells Paige that the judges had to change her category because she had too many tricks in her routine. For some reason, Christy seems upset after the solos. The judges for the Miss Photogenic Awards critique Vivi's photos. Meanwhile, Chloe wins first place in her category for her solo. Abby tells Nia afterwards that if she wants to win too, she has to put in the work and to not cry when she gets critiques. Nia admits that she often forgets the critiques that Abby gives her. Holly is upset that Nia's solo was a lot of posing and not a lot of dancing. Holly, Kelly and Christy go to get drinks. Christy says that Abby told the kids that she would use a thumbtack to get them to stand up straight. She says that she keeps vodka in her makeup case. Holly says that she doesn't want Nia to be the Aunt Jemima of the group, and Kelly says that she doesn't see the difference between white and black dancers. I thought it was important to interject that Kelly has said that Brooke's stereotyping as an acro dancer is absolutely nothing in comparison to Nia's stereotyping as a black dancer, and I think that it's important to acknowledge this and that she has grown as a person and that she can sort of exhibit a bit more understanding and sensitivity. Holly explains that she was embarrassed because her mother was in the audience, and the Laquifa image is one that they have worked very hard to not portray. Christy reveals that one thing that makes her stressed is that her husband demands that she needs to have vacuum marks in their carpet when he comes home. Back at the competition, Vivi begins to cry because she wants to dance on the stage. The following day, Abby gets the kids to perform Where Have All the Children Gone? After the performance, the mums get their daughters back into their costumes for a mother-daughter photo shoot. I presume this was when they took the shots using the Making Mine costumes that were used in a lot of the promotional material. Melissa yells at Maddie yet again about her attitude. Abby enters the dressing room with Star Power executive Gary Payne. He invites them to their competition in Florida next week. Abby offers for the girls to stay with her in her house, but then she lists a bunch of house rules and no one seems enthusiastic at the idea. She decides to just invite everyone to lunch instead. Chloe also recompetes her solo in the hopes of winning a title, and wins third runner-up. Christy tells her that she is proud, but that she did fall out of some moves. Apparently the pair go upstairs, and Christy rips off her microphone, screaming at the camera crew. There was no additional context provided on this situation, and so unfortunately we don't really know what Christy was upset about. Where Have All the Children Gone wins first place, and after a couple of interviews, the competition is over. And with that, we've reached the conclusion of yet another episode. I hope you guys have really enjoyed hearing about the behind the scenes of this episode. I am still kind of disappointed that we don't have episodes 5 and 6, and I hope that we will someday. But for now, episode 7's some consolation because we do get to see a competition that takes place over 4 days, and that's jam-packed with lots of information. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.